and then just in this area. And then if anybody's on, if you don't mind being on my YouTube channel to post all this stuff. All right, you good?
Yeah.
So today we're gonna be talking about the belt, and we have a couple of different versions of our belts today. Some thinner ones, some thicker ones, Velcro, all of that kind of stuff. First off, the why. Why do we want to be using a belt? So number one, the biggest thing with the belt is for that core support, that lower back support, right? We want to make sure that we are able to brace properly. And we'll be talking about what that looks like, what we can do to feel if we know how to brace appropriately. And then it gives us a little extra power as we're coming up out of the squat or as we are pulling weight off of the ground. First day that we're going to be using these is going to be Friday for our back squat and then Monday for our deadlifts. So you can see the difference in how these movements are going to be feeling when we're going to be wearing a belt. For the belt though, before we actually put them on and all that kind of stuff, what I want you all to do is there's two ways that we breathe. One way is with the chest going up. The other way is with the stomach expanding. And whenever we're using our belts, we want to practice expanding our stomach. All right, that's going to be that biggest thing to help keep ourselves safe, number one. So what I want everybody to do, you have your belly button. I want you to bring your hands around your side where your belly button is. All I want you to do is try to breathe and expand that stomach as much as you can. Go and give it a try. Everybody around your belly button, the side. And you're expanding that stomach out. That's what we want to be doing with that belt. You want to feel your hands expand as we are wearing that belt. That's whenever we brace. And hopefully, whenever you all aren't using a belt too, if I'm getting ready for my back squat without a belt, I'm doing the same thing. Taking that big breath to then hit my back squat and then releasing that breath when I'm done. The same thing is we're going to be using that for the belt as well. The belt is just adding extra security around our core, around our lumbar spine to make sure that we are staying as safe as possible and to give us a little extra power whenever we're doing our lifts. Now, a couple of things to think about when we're choosing these belts. For anybody that uses the weight room regularly, these ones are always here. We used to have a crazy amount of these ones. They're no longer with us anymore. These black ones, specifically for our class only. I keep them in this box. I usually put stuff on top of it. If I leave it in here, I usually don't leave these in here for any other teams. But variety of stuff to use. If you're going to be using any of the Velcro ones, just know sometimes the Velcro gets a little bit loose. But just to show you all how to put these on, the wide end always goes on the back. So, pardon me, as we get this going, and this one's going to be pretty big. I don't think this will fit me, but you always want to make sure that the wide end is covering that lower back. You don't want it too low. You don't want it too high. You want these straps just under that rib cage. Now, I can fit this one on okay. Sometimes with the Velcro ones, if they've been used a lot, they won't stay on with those really heavy lifts. So be mindful of that. Thank you. Be mindful of that. All right? For these other ones, and even for the Velcro, biggest thing you want to be thinking about when you're choosing a size and when you're wearing it, what you do not want to do, all right? And we see stuff on social media or this or that with people using weightlifting belts. You do not want to go as tight as you possibly can, because I can't even go much tighter than that. But you don't want to go crazy, right? I see people that will get the belt around something and really, there we go, crank. Come on. Oh, lat cramp, hold on. Oh my goodness. And really crank it. I can't even breathe with this thing on right now, right? We do not want it this tight ever. If you're having it this tight, how are you supposed to breathe into it? How are you supposed to brace your core? If anything, this is just over tightening and it can be very dangerous for your spine. I'm gonna give you a quick rule so you know, okay, hold on. And it's hard to put on and off like that, right? The easiest way, the rule that you want to have is, number one, you want to have it so you can still talk and breathe. But the biggest thing is, take your hand, you want to be able to fit, they usually say 1 finger, I like to say 4 fingers. I want to be able to fit 4 fingers in between. From there, I can wear this, I can use it, and this works with my bracing, so I'm pressing my stomach up against the belt, right? And the more you try to force the belt tighter and tighter, look at how sweaty I just got. You don't want to get this sweaty already, right? Go ahead and start lifting. When we're lifting with the belt, you want to make sure you have your hip bone. Everybody touch your hip bone on the side. It's not going to do anything if the belt is around your hip bone, right? Because you're unable to brace up against it. So you want it right above your hip bone, right below that rib, and make sure the buckle's right in front. Those ones are easier to tell because the wide padding should be on the back. These ones are the same size all the way across. So as we're getting ready for our lifts, and I'll demonstrate back squat and our deadlift, those are going to be the 2 that we'll be using this for, right? You get into your good back squat position, take your step back. Whenever I'm doing this, breathing into the belt, my stomach is out, I'm pressing it up against the entire time. Now, the big thing is, can you talk and do little quick breaths while keeping your stomach still braced? Right now, I am still braced. I could go through my movements the entire time with my stomach braced, pressing it out. Some of us will have to focus on and squeeze into that belt. That's going to be the most important thing that you can do. Similar to our deadlift, where we have at the bottom, I'm going to take a deep breath, shoulders back and down, press up against that belt, up, and then down. Always focusing on the bracing of our belt, okay? Of our core. What you want to be mindful of too is when we're warming up for our back squat, when we're warming up for our deadlift, don't put your belt on immediately. There's no reason for that, right? You've already shown that you can lift heavy weights without a belt. What you want to be focusing on, and this is in your own personal life with lifting, as well as in here. Don't use this as a crutch, right? Don't use this as you're only going to use a belt every time you back squat, even when you're starting to warm up with the blank barbell. Do most or all of your warm-ups depending on where you're at. And you really want to be using your belt for your working weight, or when we're doing our 1 rep maxes in a couple of weeks. No belt for the 5, no belt for the 5, no belt for the 3, maybe for that second 3, and definitely for your singles, you throw that belt on and you start going to work. All right? So, belts, different sizes, small, medium, large, and extra large. A little less of those extra larges. These ones have the sizes on them too, written. Large is there. And we have large, small, and medium of these ones. These ones are similar. I mean, none of these belts are necessarily better than any of the others, right? But they'll just feel a little bit different. The thicker leather belts tend to be the ones that more of the power lifters tend to use, right? The Velcro ones tend to be used more for different type of workouts where you're having to strap on and off quickly. And then these are kind of in the middle, but the ones with the clips, you want to keep on, right? You're not trying to take them off super fast, like if we're in the middle of a workout doing some type of functional fitness thing. All right? Questions, comments, concerns on the belts? We're going to give it a little try just to try some of these on to get ready for Friday. Thank you, Preston. Appreciate it.